Imagine this. You're simply walking from the living room to the kitchen, and your legs feel heavier than they used to. Maybe you've started avoiding the stairs because your knees ache, or you feel unstable standing for long periods. Sound familiar? You're not alone. Each year, over 300,000 older Americans are hospitalized due to falls, many of which are linked to weak leg muscles, poor balance, and joint pain. But what if I told you the real cause of this might be sitting right in your pantry or even your medicine cabinet? As we age, we're told to eat better, take our vitamins, and stay active. But here's the surprising part. Some of the foods and even the supplements we rely on every day may actually be draining our leg strength, not restoring it. In fact, two common vitamins, often promoted for a senior health, have now been linked to muscle weakness, fatigue, and even mobility loss, especially when taken in excess. Even more surprising, these aren't rare or exotic items. They're everyday staples in most American homes. From that slice of white bread at breakfast, to the processed cheese on your sandwich, to that multivitamin you take with dinner. What feels like self-care could be quietly sabotaging your ability to stay strong, steady, and independent. But here's the good news. Once you understand which foods and vitamins are undermining your leg health, you can take simple, effective steps to change course. You can feel confident on your feet again. You can keep climbing stairs, going for walks, and doing the things you love without fear of falling or feeling unstable. In this guide, we'll explore the top 13 foods and 2 vitamins that may be weakening your legs after 60. You'll learn what to avoid, why it matters, and what to choose, instead to keep your muscles strong and your mobility intact. Some of what you'll discover may truly surprise you, but it just might be the insight you've been missing. Ready to feel stronger and age with confidence? Let's dive in, starting with the first food that could be silently draining your leg strength. Refined sugar and desserts, a sweet threat to strong legs. For many seniors, a slice of pie or a couple of cookies feels like a harmless treat, maybe even a well-earned reward after a long day. But as sweet as these desserts may taste, the damage they can do to your legs is anything but comforting. After the age of 60, your body becomes more vulnerable to the effects of refined sugar, and unfortunately, that sugar can quietly steal your strength. Here's how. Excessive sugar intake triggers chronic inflammation, especially in your muscles and joints. That inflammation can cause soreness, stiffness, and eventually reduce your ability to walk, stand, or climb stairs. Even worse, sugar causes insulin resistance, making it harder for your muscles to access the energy they need to stay strong and responsive. Every time you indulge in sugary desserts, cakes, pastries, candies, you're feeding this inflammatory cycle. These foods are high in calories but low in essential nutrients like protein and magnesium, which your muscles rely on. They also promote weight gain, adding extra stress on your knees, hips, and ankles. If you've noticed that your legs feel heavier or tire more easily after meals, it might be your dessert doing the talking. The good news? You don't have to give up sweetness. Try switching to fresh fruits with cinnamon, homemade low-sugar treats, or even a drizzle of raw honey in your tea. Your taste buds and your legs will thank you. Fried foods, crispy on the outside, dangerous on the inside. There's something undeniably tempting about crispy fried chicken or a plate of golden French fries. For many older adults, fried foods bring back memories of comfort, family meals, and favorite diners. But after age 60, what once felt like a satisfying indulgence can quietly become one of your leg's greatest enemies. Fried foods are loaded with trans fats and saturated fats, which raise inflammation levels throughout your body, especially in your joints and muscles. This inflammation stiffens the legs, causes discomfort, and over time contributes to a gradual loss of strength and mobility. After a meal high in fried food, have you ever felt your legs heavy, sore, or unusually tired? That's not a coincidence. It's your body reacting to poor circulation and increased inflammation. These fats also clog blood vessels, limiting oxygen and nutrient flow to your muscles. Without proper circulation, your legs can't repair themselves or maintain endurance. Seniors are already at risk of muscle mass loss, and a fried heavy diet only accelerates the decline. Additionally, fried foods are often nutritionally empty, providing calories without the vital vitamins and proteins your muscles need to thrive. The solution isn't to give up flavor, it's to change your cooking method. Try baking, air frying, or grilling instead. Swap fried meats for lean protein and pair with steamed vegetables. Small changes can help keep your legs strong and your independence intact, bite by bite. White bread and refined carbs, the silent saboteurs of your leg strength. For many Americans, starting the day with toast or enjoying a sandwich at lunch feels like second nature. But if that bread is white and made with refined flour, it could be quietly chipping away at your leg strength, especially after age 60. White bread and other refined carbs, like pastries, crackers, and processed snack cakes, are stripped of their fiber, protein, and essential nutrients during manufacturing. What's left is a fast-burning carbohydrate that spikes your blood sugar, then crashes it, leaving your muscles starved for steady energy. This roller coaster effect weakens the muscles in your legs, making activities like walking or standing feel more difficult. Even worse, frequent blood sugar spikes can increase insulin resistance, which limits your muscles' ability to absorb glucose and convert it into strength. Over time, this contributes to sarcopenia, the age-related loss of muscle mass that threatens balance and mobility. And let's not forget about the weight gain. White bread often goes hand in hand with butter, cheese, or sugary spreads, adding empty calories and putting additional strain on already aging joints. So what's a better option? Choose whole grain breads rich in fiber and nutrients like magnesium and B vitamins. Look for ingredients like oats, flaxseed, or rye, and pair your toast with eggs, avocado, or nut butter. Your legs will thank you, with more stability, strength, and stamina for the years ahead. Alcohol, a hidden culprit behind weakening legs after 60. A glass of wine with dinner or a weekend cocktail may seem harmless, or even healthy in moderation. But for older adults, especially those over 60, alcohol can quietly undermine muscle strength, especially in the legs. As we age, our bodies become less efficient at metabolizing alcohol. This means even small amounts can interfere with the absorption of essential nutrients like calcium, magnesium, and vitamin D, all of which are vital for maintaining strong bones and muscle function. Without them, your muscles become more prone to fatigue, cramping, and weakness. Alcohol also disrupts muscle repair, meaning your legs may not bounce back as easily after a walk, a workout, or even a busy day on your feet. It also contributes to dehydration, a major cause of painful leg cramps and stiffness among seniors. Worse yet, alcohol adds empty calories that often lead to weight gain, especially around the midsection. That added weight puts more stress on the joints and muscles of the lower body, accelerating wear and increasing the risk of falls, joint pain, and mobility issues. Even if you feel fine after a drink, your body may be struggling in ways you can't see. For the sake of your legs and your overall independence, limit alcohol intake to no more than 1 drink per day and always hydrate well. If you're already feeling sluggish or sore in your legs, taking a break from alcohol could make a noticeable difference. Processed meats, a ticking time bomb for leg strength. After 60, that bacon at breakfast or ham sandwich at lunch might seem like a quick and tasty choice. But if you're over 60, those processed meats could be slowly stealing your leg strength. Foods like bacon, sausage, deli meats, and hot dogs are loaded with sodium, saturated fat, and chemical preservatives. While they make meals more convenient, they also trigger chronic inflammation in your body. This inflammation directly affects your joints and muscles, especially in your legs, leading to stiffness, swelling, and even pain when you walk or climb stairs. Processed meats also restrict blood flow, thanks to their high fat and sodium content. Poor circulation means your leg muscles get less oxygen and fewer nutrients. Over time, this leads to muscle fatigue, slower recovery after movement, and even loss of muscle mass, something already accelerated by aging. Another silent issue is the toxic buildup from preservatives like nitrates. Your liver and kidneys work overtime to filter these out, draining energy your body needs for muscle maintenance. It's a bad trade-off. Flavor today, weaker legs tomorrow. Instead, opt for lean, natural proteins. Grilled chicken, turkey breast, eggs, and even plant-based options like lentils offer strength without the side effects. Small changes like these can bring big rewards in stability, confidence, and independence. Instant noodles, a convenient meal that's weakening your legs. They're cheap, quick, and easy, but if you're over 60, instant noodles might be one of the worst foods you can put on your plate. While they may save time in the kitchen, the long-term cost to your leg strength and mobility could be far greater. Most instant noodles are made from refined flour and packed with chemical additives and artificial flavorings. They offer little protein, no fiber, and almost no essential nutrients. Instead, you get a heavy dose of sodium, often more than half your recommended daily intake in just one serving. That high sodium content leads to fluid retention, causing your legs to feel swollen, heavy, and achy. Worse still, the preservatives and monosodium glutamate, MSG, often found in the seasoning packets, can spark chronic inflammation and disrupt nerve and muscle function. For seniors, this can mean more frequent muscle cramps, slower recovery, and a reduced ability to walk comfortably or climb stairs. High in empty calories, instant noodles also contribute to unwanted weight gain, placing more pressure on already aging joints and muscles. And because they spike blood sugar levels, they sap the steady energy your muscles need to stay strong and stable. If you're seeking fast meals, consider healthier options like pre-cooked brown rice, whole grain pasta, or veggie-based soups. Your legs will thank you with every stronger, steadier step you take. Industrially made cakes, sweet treats, that slowly weaken your legs. There's something comforting about a slice of cake with your afternoon coffee or a packaged pastry now and then. But if you're over 60, these industrially made cakes may be doing much more harm than good, especially when it comes to leg strength and joint health. Most store-bought cakes are loaded with refined sugars, hydrogenated oils, trans fats, and artificial additives, a trio of ingredients known to drive chronic inflammation. That inflammation doesn't just affect your digestion or heart. It targets your joints and muscles, especially in your legs, causing stiffness, soreness, and weakness over time. Even more concerning, these cakes are high in calories but low in essential nutrients, like protein, magnesium, and antioxidants, key players in muscle recovery and energy. You might be satisfying a sweet tooth, but you're offering your muscles nothing to rebuild or stay strong. The trans fats in these products are especially damaging. They impair circulation, reducing the oxygen and nutrients your legs need to stay functional. Over time, this contributes to muscle loss, reduced mobility, and a higher risk of falls. Instead of processed cakes, consider homemade alternatives using whole grain flours, natural sweeteners like raw honey, and healthy fats like olive oil. These simple swaps can keep dessert in your life without sacrificing your strength and independence. Ultra-processed cheeses, the hidden threat to leg strength after 60. Creamy, convenient, and full of flavor, ultra-processed cheeses like cheese spreads, pre-packaged slices, and melted cheese products are kitchen staples for many seniors. But if you're over 60 and struggling with heavy, aching, or unsteady legs, these seemingly harmless cheeses may be quietly undermining your mobility. These products are typically packed with sodium, saturated fats, and chemical additives like phosphates and preservatives. This combination promotes fluid retention, raises blood pressure, and increases inflammation, all of which can cause your legs to feel bloated, tired, and stiff. Even worse, ultra-processed cheeses often interfere with your body's ability to absorb calcium and magnesium, two minerals essential for muscle contraction and bone strength. Without them, you may experience more cramps, spasms, and general weakness in your lower body. Unlike traditional cheeses, such as cottage, ricotta, or feta, these factory-made varieties offer very little high-quality protein. That means while you're taking in calories, your muscles aren't getting the amino acids they need to stay firm and functional. Over time, this can lead to muscle atrophy, joint instability, and increased risk of falls. If you enjoy cheese, don't worry. You don't have to give it up. Simply switch to fresher, minimally processed options and pair them with whole foods rich in protein and fiber. Your legs and your long-term independence will thank you. Industrial ice cream, a sweet treat with sour consequences for seniors' leg health. On a warm summer day, few things feel more comforting than a scoop of creamy ice cream. But for seniors over 60, regularly indulging in industrial ice cream, the kind you find in most grocery store freezers, might be silently damaging your legs and mobility. These mass-produced desserts are packed with refined sugar, saturated fats, and artificial additives like thickeners, emulsifiers, and food dyes. While they may taste delightful, these ingredients promote chronic inflammation, impair blood flow, and increase the risk of muscle fatigue. Here's how it works. The high sugar content causes sharp spikes and crashes in blood sugar levels, leading to energy instability that directly affects your leg's strength and endurance. At the same time, saturated fats clog arteries and reduce circulation, so your leg muscles receive less oxygen and nutrients, resulting in heaviness, stiffness, and even cramping. What's more, poor circulation from these ice creams can slow muscle recovery and increase the likelihood of falls. And since they offer empty calories without essential nutrients like protein, magnesium, or calcium, they fail to support muscle or bone health. Two things every senior needs to stay active and independent. Instead of grabbing a processed pint, consider switching to a homemade frozen treat with Greek yogurt, berries, or even banana-based nice cream. You'll satisfy your sweet tooth without compromising your strength, and your legs will carry you farther, longer. Milk chocolate, a sweet trap that saps your strength after 60. That piece of creamy milk chocolate may feel like a well-earned reward, but if you're over 60, it could be secretly sabotaging your legs and draining your muscle strength. Milk chocolate is typically high in refined sugars and saturated fats, both of which contribute to inflammation, weight gain, and poor circulation, a triple threat to your lower body. The sugar content causes blood sugar spikes that leave you with bursts of energy followed by crashes, making your legs feel tired, heavy, and unstable. Even more concerning, the low cocoa content in most commercial milk chocolate means it lacks the antioxidants that dark chocolate provides. You're left with a sweet treat that offers little nutritional value, but packs a punch when it comes to inflammation and metabolic stress. This leads to weakened muscles, stiff joints, and a higher risk of falls, something no senior can afford. Artificial ingredients like emulsifiers and preservatives also interfere with nutrient absorption, which is critical as your body's natural ability to process vitamins and minerals declines with age. If you're eating milk chocolate regularly, you may be unknowingly robbing your muscles of the fuel they need to stay strong. But don't worry, you don't have to give up chocolate altogether. Opt for dark chocolate with at least 70% cocoa, which contains beneficial flavonoids that support circulation and muscle health. In moderation, it's a much smarter way to satisfy your cravings, while helping your legs stay strong, stable, and ready for whatever comes next. Canned foods, the hidden culprit behind weak, swollen legs. Cracking open a can of soup or vegetables may seem like a quick and easy way to prepare a meal, but if you're over 60, it could be quietly weakening your legs and draining your energy. Most canned foods are packed with excess sodium, chemical preservatives, and synthetic additives like sodium benzoate and nitrites. These compounds trigger chronic inflammation, which directly affects your muscles and joints, leading to pain, stiffness, and swelling, especially in your lower body. Seniors are particularly vulnerable to this because their circulation tends to decline with age, and their bodies have a harder time filtering out toxins. What's more, The high salt content in canned foods promotes fluid retention, causing your legs to feel heavy and bloated. That afternoon walk or trip up the stairs can suddenly feel like a struggle. The lack of nutrients in many canned items only adds insult to injury. Many have been stripped of vital vitamins, minerals, and proteins during processing, leaving behind empty calories and metabolic stress. Even the cans themselves may pose a risk. Some contain traces of aluminum or BPA, substances linked to nerve and muscle dysfunction over time. For healthier legs and better vitality, try replacing canned goods with fresh, frozen, or naturally preserved alternatives. Your legs will thank you with greater mobility, less swelling, and the strength to keep doing the things you love on your own terms. Processed snacks and filled cookies, a sweet trap that steals your strength. That mid-afternoon cookie or quick salty snack may feel like a small indulgence, but for seniors, especially after age 65, these ultra-processed treats can quietly chip away at your leg strength and overall vitality. Filled cookies, packaged crackers, and processed chips are loaded with artificial ingredients like dyes, preservatives, emulsifiers, and hydrogenated oils. These chemicals don't just upset your stomach, they strain your liver, kidneys, and circulatory system, reducing your body's ability to deliver oxygen and nutrients to your muscles and joints. That can lead to chronic leg fatigue, swelling, and even a feeling of unsteadiness when you walk. What's worse, these snacks are often packed with trans fats and refined sugars. Trans fats are one of the biggest contributors to inflammation, especially in the lower body, and can clog the arteries that feed your leg muscles. Meanwhile, sugar causes rapid blood sugar spikes followed by crashes, draining your energy and promoting muscle loss, a key concern as we age. The result? Weak legs, aching joints, and a loss of independence over time. If you're relying on processed snacks for convenience, there's a better way. Opt for natural snack bars, nuts, fresh fruit, or even homemade oat cookies sweetened with raw honey or cinnamon. These options provide real nourishment, help you maintain muscle mass, and keep your legs strong, so you can stay mobile, active, and confident in your golden years. MSG in industrial foods, the hidden threat to your leg strength. At first glance, MSG, or monosodium glutamate, might seem harmless. It's a flavor enhancer found in many packaged foods like instant soups, frozen meals, canned broths, and seasoning mixes. But if you're over 65, regularly consuming foods with MSG could be silently undermining your muscle health, especially in your legs. MSG affects the nervous system by interfering with neurotransmitters that help muscles contract and relax. For seniors, this can lead to troubling symptoms like muscle cramps, leg stiffness, tingling sensations, or even slight tremors. Over time, as our nervous systems become more sensitive with age, the effects of MSG become more pronounced and more dangerous. Even more concerning, MSG promotes chronic low-grade inflammation throughout the body. That inflammation directly impacts joints, circulation, and muscle repair, key systems that help keep your legs strong and mobile. Combine that with MSG's tendency to interfere with glucose metabolism, and you've got a recipe for weaker legs, slower recovery, and increased fatigue during everyday activities like walking or climbing stairs. What makes MSG especially tricky is that it's often hidden behind terms like yeast extract, flavor enhancer, or hydrolyzed protein on food labels. To protect your strength and independence, aim to cook with fresh herbs, garlic, onion, and lemon instead of reaching for MSG-laced seasonings. Choose real, whole ingredients and stay vigilant when buying prepackaged items. Your legs and your long-term health will thank you. Vitamin A overload, the surprising way. This healthy vitamin could weaken your legs. When we hear about vitamin A, most of us think of good things: strong eyesight, a healthy immune system, glowing skin. For decades, seniors have been encouraged to get enough vitamin A through their diets or supplements to support overall wellness. But here's what most people don't realize. Taking too much vitamin A, especially in supplement form, can quietly damage your muscle health and weaken your legs. Vitamin A is a fat-soluble vitamin, which means your body stores what it doesn't use right away in your liver and fatty tissues. Unlike water-soluble vitamins that flush out easily, excess vitamin A accumulates, and for older adults, that can become a serious issue. As we age, our bodies naturally slow down in metabolizing and eliminating extra nutrients, including vitamin A. This sets the stage for a condition called hypervitaminosis A, or vitamin A toxicity. One of the earliest and most commonly reported symptoms of this toxicity is muscle pain and weakness, especially in the legs and lower back. Seniors often attribute these aches to aging, arthritis, or poor circulation, but few realize their supplement routine might be contributing. In fact, difficulty climbing stairs, standing up from a seated position, or maintaining balance can be linked to vitamin A-induced inflammation in the muscle tissue. Worse yet, excess vitamin A interferes with your body's ability to absorb magnesium and calcium, two minerals critical for healthy muscle contractions and bone strength. A deficiency in either can lead to cramps, spasms, fatigue, and an increased risk of falls. If you're already experiencing stiffness, nighttime leg cramps, or feel like your legs tire more easily, this could be a red flag, and the consequences go beyond muscle pain. High levels of vitamin A can also accelerate bone loss, especially in areas like the hips and legs. This is particularly dangerous for seniors with osteoporosis or osteopenia, as it raises the risk of fractures. For older adults trying to stay active, mobile, and independent, this unintended consequence can quietly erode their freedom and quality of life. Here's where the problem often starts. Supplements, multivitamins, fortified foods, and standalone vitamin A pills often provide more than the recommended daily allowance, RDA. Combine that with a diet rich in animal sources like liver, whole milk, or eggs, and it's easy to exceed healthy limits without even knowing. And unlike vitamin A from plant-based sources like carrots or sweet potatoes, which come in the form of beta-carotene and are self-regulated by your body, preformed vitamin A from supplements or animal products gets stored and builds up. Many seniors begin supplementing with vitamin A in good faith, hoping to protect their eyes or boost their immune systems. But without guidance from a doctor or a recent blood test, it's easy to take too much for too long. That's why experts strongly recommend working with your healthcare provider to assess your vitamin A intake before starting or continuing supplements. So, what should you do instead? Get your vitamin A from food first. Focus on colorful vegetables like carrots, pumpkins, sweet potatoes, and leafy greens. Avoid high-dose supplements unless prescribed. Read labels carefully on multivitamins and fortified foods. Talk to your doctor about checking your blood levels, especially if you experience leg pain, weakness, or joint discomfort. Sometimes less is more. When it comes to your legs, strength, and mobility, too much of a good vitamin might be doing more harm than help. When too much of a good thing becomes dangerous, the hidden risks of excess vitamin D for seniors' leg health. Vitamin D has long been hailed as a hero for aging adults, supporting strong bones, boosting the immune system, and even improving mood. For many seniors, it's a daily supplement taken with confidence, especially when outdoor activity and sun exposure become more limited with age. But what if the very vitamin that's supposed to strengthen your body is silently weakening your legs? Here's the truth most people don't know. Too much vitamin D, especially from supplements, can actually harm your muscles, joints, and overall mobility. And it's a growing problem among older adults who take high doses without proper medical supervision. Unlike water-soluble vitamins that flush out easily, vitamin D is fat-soluble, meaning it gets stored in your body's fat tissues and liver. When taken in excess over time, this storage builds up, leading to a condition called hypervitaminosis D. One of the first signs: muscle weakness, leg pain, stiffness, and trouble with motor coordination. These symptoms often go unrecognized or get misattributed to aging, arthritis, or overexertion. But in reality, high vitamin D levels can elevate blood calcium, a condition known as hypercalcemia. That excess calcium doesn't just float around harmlessly. It deposits into soft tissues like muscles, tendons, and arteries, making them stiff, less flexible, and more prone to pain. For older adults, this means less mobility, greater risk of falls, and muscles that just won't cooperate like they used to. Even more concerning is how excess vitamin D affects your kidneys, which are responsible for filtering calcium and other minerals from your blood. When the kidneys become overwhelmed, it leads to fluid retention, lung swelling, edema, and a sluggish feeling that makes simple activities like walking upstairs or standing for long periods feel exhausting. Here's where it gets even trickier. Many people assume more is better, especially when trying to combat osteoporosis or weakened bones. So they take 2,000 to 5,000 IU or more daily, without checking their actual blood levels or understanding their body's needs. Some multivitamins, fortified foods, and prescription-strength supplements contain surprisingly high doses of vitamin D. Without medical guidance, this well-intentioned habit can quickly backfire. Studies have shown that seniors with too much vitamin D actually perform worse on mobility tests, struggle with muscle coordination, and are more prone to fractures, not less. That's because their muscles and nerves can no longer communicate properly due to calcium overload and nerve interference. What should be a protective supplement instead becomes a silent threat to independence. If you've ever experienced burning or cramping in your legs, stiff joints that feel locked up, tingling or numbness in your lower body, or unexplained weakness after adding or increasing vitamin D, it might be time to get your vitamin D levels checked. Doctors recommend keeping your 25-OD level between 30 to 50 nanograms per milliliter, not exceeding 100 nanograms per milliliter. If you're supplementing, balance is key, and always pair vitamin D with vitamin K2. This important vitamin helps direct calcium to your bones, where it belongs, and away from your arteries and muscles, where it causes problems. Instead of megadosing, aim for moderate, doctor-approved doses based on lab tests. Natural sources of vitamin D like fatty fish, salmon, sardines, egg yolks, and fortified dairy. Safe sun exposure, such as 15 to 20 minutes a day when possible. Remember, too much of a good thing can be just as dangerous as too little. When it comes to vitamin D, smart balance, not blind dosing, is the path to stronger legs, better movement, and healthier aging. Conclusion: protect your legs, preserve your independence. As we age, we begin to realize that true wealth isn't in what we own. It's in how we move, how we feel, and how independent we can remain. And when your legs feel weak, sore, or unsteady, it's not just a physical issue. It's a direct threat to your freedom, your confidence, and your ability to enjoy the life you've worked so hard to build. This entire journey through the hidden dangers in common foods, and even certain vitamins, has shown us one powerful truth. The little things we put on our plate each day add up. A slice of white bread here, a serving of fried food there, or an extra supplement we thought was safe. Over time, these choices can quietly wear down your muscles, increase inflammation, and leave your legs struggling to support you. But here's the most important thing to remember. You are not powerless. With every meal, you have the opportunity to choose strength. With every step you take, no matter how small, you are building a foundation for continued mobility, vitality, and independence. Swapping processed snacks for whole foods, paying attention to your vitamin intake, drinking more water, and simply moving more. These are not extreme changes. They are manageable, realistic shifts that can have a massive impact on how your legs feel in the months and years ahead. Whether you're 65 or 85, your body is still capable of healing, rebuilding, and growing stronger, especially when given the right support. So start today. Take one small step. Choose one better habit. Share what you've learned with someone you care about. Because when your legs are strong, your life is stronger.